Everything is bigger in Texas, and that's not just a saying, it's a fact. This state is a powerhouse driven by oil, technology, aerospace, agriculture, and a deeply rooted work ethic that Texans are famous for, stretching across over 268,000 square miles. Texas is the second largest state in the U.S. It's home to more than 30 million people, making it the second most populated state after California. But in terms of energy, pride, and presence, Texas often feels like it's in a league of its own. If Texas were an independent country, its economy would rank among the top 10 in the world, larger than the GDP of countries like Australia or Mexico. Texans don't just go big, they go bold. From the size of their land to the scale of their dreams, everything here is infused with confidence and character. In West Texas, there's a military base so massive, it could be its own city. In the Dallas area, there's an airport that covers more land than Manhattan and has its own ZIP code. And that's only scratching the surface. Texas isn't just a place, it's an experience. It's where traditions run deep, where innovation meets independence, and where stories don't just get told, they get lived out loud. So buckle up, because today we're diving into mind-blowing facts about the Lone Star State. Some will surprise you, others will challenge what you thought you knew, and a few might just shock you to your core. But before we start, here's a little question to entertain you. Which world-famous cocktail was invented in Texas? A. Mojito. B. Margarita. C. Cosmopolitan. D. Piña Colada. Share your opinion in the comments, and patiently watch this video till the end to find out the truth. Number 10. Fort Bliss. Everything is bigger in Texas, and Fort Bliss is no exception. Located in the vast Chihuahuan Desert near El Paso, this massive installation is one of the largest and most strategically important military bases in the United States. Spanning more than 1,700 square miles, Fort Bliss is actually larger than the entire state of Rhode Island. But Fort Bliss isn't just big, it's vital. It plays a central role in national defense and international readiness. As the proud home of the U.S. Army's 1st Armored Division, also known as Old Ironsides, it serves as a hub for training and deployment of some of the Army's most combat-ready forces. These troops are highly mobile and capable of responding to global threats with speed and precision. The base's story began in 1848, shortly after the end of the Mexican-American War. Its original purpose was to secure the western frontier and support military operations in the newly acquired territories. Over time, its role expanded significantly. During World War II, Fort Bliss became a key site for anti-aircraft training, and later, it was central to missile development during the Cold War. Its modern growth accelerated in the 2000s, when the Army moved major air defense and armored units here under the Base Realignment and Closure Program. This decision transformed Fort Bliss into a premier center for large-scale maneuvers, missile defense, and live-fire combat simulation. Texas was a natural choice for such a base. The vast, open terrain surrounding El Paso is ideal for armored vehicle exercises, artillery ranges, and air operations. The consistent weather allows year-round training, and the strong military tradition of Texas, where patriotism runs deep, ensures unwavering local support. Fort Bliss is also home to the U.S. Army's Air Defense Artillery School. This is where cutting-edge systems like Patriot missiles and THAAD are developed and tested. These systems are crucial to U.S. and Allied missile defense, and Fort Bliss plays a frontline role in their operation and advancement. The base is not just a military post, it's a functioning city. Over 130,000 people are connected to Fort Bliss, including soldiers, families, civilian employees, contractors, and retirees. It features schools, hospitals, retail centers, chapels, parks, and even museums. Life here blends the rigor of military readiness with the rhythm of community living. Units stationed at Fort Bliss have served with distinction across the globe. The 1st Armored Division has seen action in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, often leading high-risk missions and peacekeeping operations. Their professionalism and effectiveness are rooted in the tough, realistic training they receive right here in Texas. The legacy of Fort Bliss is one of constant evolution. From protecting wagon routes to leading the future of missile defense, it continues to adapt to the changing nature of warfare. What remains unchanged is its mission, to train, equip, and deploy the finest soldiers in the world, backed by the strength of the Lone Star State. Before we dive deeper into this explosive story, please take a moment to hit that like button. It's a small action, but it significantly helps YouTube's algorithm promote our videos and get this crucial information out to a wider audience. Number 9. An airport as big as a city. Everything really is bigger in Texas, and Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport proves it the moment you land. Covering more than 27 square miles, DFW is larger in land area than the entire island of Manhattan. It's not just an airport, it's practically its own city. DFW has its own ZIP code, a dedicated post office, full-service police and fire departments, and even emergency medical teams on standby. With 5 terminals and more than 160 gates, navigating the airport often means hopping on the high-speed Skylink train just to make your next connection. But why was such a massive airport built here? The idea was born out of rivalry and vision. Back in the 1960s, Dallas and Fort Worth each had their own airports. But as air travel surged and airline demands grew, it became clear that competing wasn't sustainable. In a rare moment of unity, leaders from both cities came together and agreed to build a single world-class regional airport. The project was ambitious from the start. It would sit nearly exactly between Dallas and Fort Worth, symbolizing cooperation and shared growth. In 1969, construction officially began, and 5 years later, in 1974, DFW opened to the public. It was the first major U.S. airport built from the ground up in the jet age, with wide runways, room to expand, and a modular design that allowed for future terminals to be added easily. Since then, DFW has become one of the busiest airports on Earth, serving more than 70 million passengers every year. It connects travelers to over 250 destinations around the world and consistently ranks in the top 5 globally for operations and traffic. It's also a powerhouse for the Texas economy, supporting over 60,000 on-site jobs and generating billions in economic impact each year. Major airlines, especially American Airlines, use DFW as a central hub, offering flights across the U.S. and to 6 continents. Inside, travelers can find everything from Texas-style barbecue to high-end boutiques. Local art is displayed throughout the terminals, and even short layovers can include a photo at the Dealey Plaza replica in Terminal C, perfect for sightseeing without leaving the airport. DFW isn't just functional, it reflects Texas pride. Texans believe in building big, building smart, and welcoming the world with open arms. And DFW, with its scale, innovation, and efficiency, embodies all of that. Our team needs your help. Subscribe to our channel to help more people learn the truth about current events. And now, we move on. Number 8. Eeyore's birthday party. Once a small college picnic, now a full-blown psychedelic festival, Eeyore's birthday party is one of the weirdest, most unforgettable events in Texas. It's held every April in Austin's Pease Park and attracts over 10,000 visitors in a single day. The festival began in 1963 as a lighthearted event for University of Texas students. They picked Eeyore, the gloomy donkey from Winnie the Pooh, as the party's guest of honor, giving students an excuse to blow off steam during finals. The character was created by author A. Milne in the 1920s and quickly became beloved for his dry wit, gentle nature, and underdog charm. Eeyore's quiet sadness made him oddly relatable, and his inclusion added a playful, ironic twist to the celebration. No one expected it to last, but over the decades, it evolved into something far bigger. Today, the event blends hippie culture, music festival vibes, and old-fashioned Austin weirdness. People arrive dressed in elaborate costumes, unicorns, wizards, jungle animals, neon butterflies. Drum circles beat non-stop under the shade of ancient trees, while clouds of bubble soap float overhead. The scent of incense, funnel cakes, and barbecue hangs in the air. There's no admission fee, and everything is run by volunteers. Local nonprofits set up booths to raise money, sell art, or offer face painting. One of the longest-running booths is the Maypole Dance, a tradition that dates back to the very first Eeyore event. Live music plays throughout the day on multiple stages. Local bands, fire dancers, and performance artists take turns entertaining crowds sprawled on picnic blankets. You'll see families with strollers right next to stilt walkers and costumed bikers. There's even a costume contest for dogs. And of course, the star of the show is Eeyore himself, usually a volunteer in a giant gray donkey costume posing for photos, surrounded by cheering fans. The party even has its own quirky mascot history. In 1974, someone showed up in a papier-mâché Eeyore head and became an unofficial icon of the event. Alcohol is allowed, but only in reusable containers. Plastic is banned to protect the park. Eco-consciousness is a big part of the festival's identity, with recycling stations and volunteers reminding guests to leave no trace. Texans, especially Austinites, take pride in the strange, inclusive, and community-driven spirit of this event. It's not run by corporations or ticket vendors. It's built entirely by locals who believe in having fun and giving back. Eeyore's birthday isn't just a festival. It's a reflection of Austin itself, creative, free-spirited, and proud to be different. Want to help us grow? Share our new video on X. Every share counts. Every. Number 7. Cathedral of Junk. Tucked away in a quiet residential backyard in Austin is one of Texas's most bizarre and brilliant landmarks, the Cathedral of Junk. Built entirely from discarded items, this towering sculpture is a living example of Austin's famous motto, "Keep Austin Weird." The Cathedral of Junk began in 1988 as a personal project by local resident Vince Hanneman. He didn't set out to create a tourist attraction. He simply started stacking discarded items in his yard: old bikes, hubcaps, broken TVs, street signs, wires, toys, and anything else people didn't want. Over time, the pile grew into something more: a walkable, climbable, 3-story structure made from over 60 tons of junk. It has winding staircases, narrow passageways, and quiet spaces where sunlight filters through old glass bottles and twisted metal. Visitors can spend hours exploring the nooks and crannies, discovering strange and unexpected objects in every corner. Despite its chaotic look, the cathedral is held together with surprising strength. Steel, rebar, concrete, and years of creative engineering keep the whole structure safe and stable. Visitors describe it as a mix between a jungle gym, a sculpture garden, and an immersive art installation. The items used in the construction are just as interesting as the structure itself. You'll find vintage electronics, toy robots, plastic flamingos, kitchen sinks, mannequin parts, garden tools, and car parts, all carefully placed to form walls, arches, and hidden rooms. Some pieces date back decades, creating a nostalgic time capsule woven into the architecture. The cathedral isn't a museum or a business. It's a constantly evolving piece of backyard folk art. Over the years, locals and tourists have donated objects to be added, and the artist continues to modify and rebuild areas to keep it standing and growing. At one point, the city of Austin asked for engineering updates and permits to ensure it was safe for visitors. Texans responded with support. Volunteers and donations poured in to help bring it up to code. The community wanted to keep the cathedral alive, and it did. Today, the Cathedral of Junk is open by appointment and attracts visitors from around the world. It's a testament to what can be created with imagination, patience, and a strong sense of Texas independence. This structure isn't just about recycling or art, it's about vision. It turns the ordinary into something unforgettable, and it proves, once again, that Texans don't wait for permission to create something great, they just get to work. Would you visit a structure built from 60 tons of junk? Or maybe you've already been to the Cathedral of Junk yourself. Tell us in the comments, what's the strangest or most creative landmark you've ever seen? Number 6. Fiesta San Antonio. Every April, the city of San Antonio bursts into a spectacular celebration known as Fiesta. It's one of the largest festivals in the United States, and unlike anything else you'll find in Texas or anywhere else. But Fiesta didn't start as a party. It began in 1891 as a solemn tribute. Local women organized a parade to honor the heroes of the Battle of the Alamo and the Battle of San Jacinto. They decorated carriages and tossed flower petals in remembrance. That small event, known as the Battle of Flowers Parade, became the foundation for what would become a citywide tradition. Over the decades, Fiesta grew in size and purpose. It now spans 11 days and includes over 100 official events. The festival honors Texas history, celebrates cultural diversity, and raises millions for local nonprofits, scholarships, and civic projects. The heart of Fiesta is still the Battle of Flowers Parade. It's the only major parade in the country that's completely organized and run by women volunteers. Schools and businesses close for the day, and over 300,000 spectators line the streets to watch elaborate floats and marching bands. Another major highlight is the Fiesta Flambeau Parade, held at night and known for its illuminated floats. It's the largest nighttime parade in the U.S., drawing crowds from across the country. There are also food festivals, art fairs, rodeos, concerts, and a royal court that includes a King Antonio, a Queen of the Order of the Alamo, and even a self-proclaimed King of the People. One of the most popular events is NIOSA, a night in Old San Antonio. Held in La Villita Historic Arts Village, it features over 200 food and drink booths, live music, and traditional dancing. It celebrates the city's many cultural influences, from Mexican and German to French and Western. Fiesta also features the unique tradition of cascarones, hollowed eggs filled with confetti. Cracking one over someone's head is meant to bring good luck. Vendors sell thousands of them every year, and they've become one of the festival's most iconic symbols. What makes Fiesta truly Texan is its scale and spirit. It brings together more than 2.5 million people each year and is supported by thousands of volunteers. Despite its size, it remains deeply local, driven by community pride and a passion for tradition. Texans don't just attend Fiesta, they build it, run it, and keep it alive year after year. The economic impact is massive too. Fiesta pumps hundreds of millions of dollars into the local economy. But more than that, it showcases what Texas does best, honoring its past while throwing one of the liveliest, most inclusive parties in the nation. Have you ever experienced Fiesta San Antonio, or do you have a favorite festival from your own state that brings people together like this one? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Number 5. Beer Can House. In a quiet neighborhood of Houston, you'll find one of Texas's most unusual attractions, the Beer Can House. It's exactly what it sounds like, a house covered in flattened beer cans, bottle caps, and pull tabs. But it's not just a roadside oddity. It's a symbol of creativity, Texas grit, and the power of doing things your own way. The Beer Can House began in the late 1960s when a man named John Milkovich, a retired upholsterer, started decorating his home. He didn't do it for fame or art. He just didn't want to mow the lawn anymore. What started with concrete blocks and marbles in the yard quickly grew into something bigger. Instead of throwing away his empty beer cans, Milkovich began cutting and flattening them. He used the pieces to cover the walls of his house, string them into garlands, and form wind chimes. Over time, he used more than 50,000 beer cans to transform every inch of his property, walls, fences, and even the mailbox. The structure isn't just a spectacle, it's a carefully crafted work of folk art. Each section reflects hours of effort, with cans arranged in patterns and strings of pull tabs creating shimmering curtains that jingle in the breeze. The house doesn't follow any formal rules of architecture or design. It follows passion, persistence, and Texan originality. Texans have always been known for doing things big and bold. The Beer Can House is a perfect example of that spirit. It's not about perfection, it's about personality. What began as one man's backyard project became a community treasure that draws thousands of curious visitors each year. Today, the Beer Can House is maintained by the Orange Show Center for Visionary Art, a Houston nonprofit that preserves unique creative landmarks. The house is open to the public on weekends, and visitors can walk through the yard and explore the inside. It's part museum, part-time capsule, and entirely one of a kind. Located in the Rice Military Neighborhood, it stands just minutes from Houston's modern skyline. Yet it feels like stepping into another world, one made of aluminum, imagination, and everyday Texas charm. The Beer Can House reminds us that art doesn't have to come from a gallery. Sometimes it comes from a six-pack, a good idea, and a stubborn belief that anything is possible if you just keep going. Now we're curious, what's the most unusual landmark you've ever seen? Would you visit the Beer Can House, or have you already been? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Number 4. Art Car Parade. Every year in Houston, one of the most vibrant and creative parades takes over the streets, the Art Car Parade. It's unlike any parade you've ever seen, showcasing vehicles transformed into rolling works of art. From painted cars to vehicles wrapped in beads, lights, and even sculptures, the Art Car Parade is a true testament to Houston's unrestrained creativity. The Art Car Parade began in 1988, when a group of local artists and car enthusiasts decided to take their art to the streets. The idea was to transform ordinary cars into unique pieces of art that would not only captivate but also engage the community. What started as a modest event quickly exploded in popularity, attracting thousands of participants and spectators each year. The parade was the brainchild of the Orange Show Center for Visionary Art, a Houston nonprofit dedicated to preserving unconventional and visionary art forms. The goal was to create a platform for the people of Houston to express their creativity, and it worked over the years. The parade has grown to feature over 250 art cars, with people from all walks of life getting involved. The vehicles in the parade are often transformed into everything from fantasy creatures to abstract sculptures. Some cars have intricate murals painted on their exteriors, while others have entire environments built around them. It's common to see cars covered in mirrors, decorated with LED lights, and even outfitted with moving parts or sound systems. For many, the event is a way to showcase their artistic talents and share their creations with a wider audience. The Art Car Parade isn't just for artists, it's for the entire Houston community. Many spectators participate by dressing up, decorating their own cars, or even becoming part of the parade itself. The event attracts not only local residents but also visitors from all over the world, drawn by the spectacle of creative expression and the open invitation to be part of something extraordinary. Texas is known for its larger-than-life attitude, and the Art Car Parade is no exception. It brings together elements of car culture, art, and local pride in a way that only a city like Houston can pull off. It's a celebration of individuality, a festival where everyone can appreciate and take part in a unique form of expression. Held each year in April, the Art Car Parade has become one of Houston's most anticipated events. It attracts thousands of spectators who line the streets to admire the imaginative cars, enjoy music and entertainment, and experience the incredible energy that fills the city during this event. It's more than just a parade, it's a celebration of what happens when art meets the road. From its humble beginnings to its position as one of the largest and most important art car events in the world, the Art Car Parade has shown the world that Houston is a city where creativity knows no bounds. It's a prime example of the Texas spirit, bold, innovative, and always ready to make a statement. Have you ever participated in or seen an art car parade? What's the most creative vehicle you've ever come across, whether in a parade or elsewhere? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Number 3. The Astrodome. In the heart of Houston sits a massive, silent structure that once made history. The Astrodome, once called the eighth wonder of the world, now stands empty, an engineering marvel frozen in time. The need for the Astrodome arose in the 1950s. Houston's leaders wanted to bring Major League Baseball to Texas, but the city's hot, humid climate made outdoor games almost unbearable in summer. Inspired by indoor arenas and fueled by Texas ambition, they decided to build the first fully enclosed domed stadium in the world. Construction began in 1962, and the Astrodome officially opened in 1965. It was revolutionary. The dome covered 9.5 acres, with air conditioning, luxury suites, and a massive scoreboard that could flash animations, a first for sports stadiums. It seated over 66,000 people and could host baseball, football, rodeos, concerts, and even boxing matches. The Houston Astros and Oilers both called it home, and it quickly became a symbol of modern Texas. The Astrodome showed that Texans could take on big ideas and turn them into reality. It wasn't just a stadium, it was a vision of the future. One of the quirkiest innovations was the use of artificial turf. When real grass died due to lack of sunlight under the dome, engineers installed synthetic grass, later branded as AstroTurf. This invention would go on to change sports worldwide. But as time passed, newer and more modern stadiums began to appear. By the late 1990s, both the Astros and the Oilers had moved to new venues. Maintenance costs soared, and the Astrodome fell into disuse. In 2008, the building was officially closed to the public due to safety code violations. Since then, it has sat empty, too iconic to demolish, too outdated to reuse without major investment. Today, the Astrodome still stands next to the modern NRG Stadium, a ghost of Houston's past. Its fate has sparked endless debate. Some want to preserve it as a museum or event space. Others argue for demolition. Over the years, several redevelopment plans have been proposed, including ideas for an indoor park or convention center, but none have moved forward. Despite being closed, the Astrodome remains on the National Register of Historic Places. It continues to inspire architects, engineers, and Texans who remember what it once represented. The Astrodome isn't just a stadium, it's a monument to vision, risk, and innovation. It reflects a time when Texas dared to build something the world had never seen. Even in abandonment, it commands respect. Do you think the Astrodome should be preserved, repurposed, or torn down? Have you ever seen it in person, or maybe even attended an event there? Share your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear your story. Number 2, the Orange Show. In the southeast corner of Houston sits a truly unusual landmark, the Orange Show. It's not a theater, not a museum, and not quite a garden. Instead, it's an outdoor art installation built entirely by one man, using scrap materials and pure determination. The Orange Show began in the 1950s as a personal project by Jeff McKissack, a retired postal worker. He believed oranges were the secret to good health and long life. To celebrate that belief, he started building a space that would combine art, performance, and public education, all centered around the humble orange. Construction took over 2 decades. Using bricks, tiles, metal scraps, concrete, and salvaged tools, McKissack slowly built a maze-like structure in his own yard. The site includes winding staircases, oddly shaped balconies, colorful mosaics, and hand-painted messages about nutrition and hard work. The result was a vibrant folk art environment covering over 3,000 square feet. It's filled with unexpected details. You'll see bicycle wheels welded into fences, bathtubs used as decoration, and clever uses of plumbing pipes, fans, and gears. Every corner is packed with personality. McKissack didn't use blueprints or hire contractors. He relied on instinct and the materials he could find or repurpose. The project was deeply personal, but he always intended it to be shared with the public. When the Orange Show opened to visitors in the 1970s, it gained attention for its uniqueness. But after McKissack's death in 1980, the future of the site was uncertain. Local artists and Houstonians rallied to preserve it. They formed the Orange Show Center for Visionary Art to protect the site and support other outsider artists across Texas. Thanks to their work, the Orange Show lives on. Today, it's not just a destination, it's the center of a growing creative movement. The same organization now manages the Houston Art Car Parade, the Beer Can House, and Smither Park, all of which celebrate art created outside traditional institutions. Visitors to the Orange Show can still walk through McKissack's original pathways, explore his handmade amphitheater, and admire the endless creative uses of discarded materials. It's a place where imagination comes first, and perfection is never the goal. Texans have always been proud of people who think differently, build boldly, and never give up. The Orange Show is a tribute to that spirit. It proves that with a little scrap metal, a lot of grit, and the freedom to dream, even a retired postal worker can leave behind a landmark that inspires generations. Would you visit the Orange Show? Let us know in the comments. And now it's time to find out the correct answer to the quiz. Which world-famous cocktail was invented in Texas? A. Mojito. B. Margarita. C. Cosmopolitan. D. Piña Colada. The correct answer is B. Margarita. Number 1. The margarita. Few cocktails are as iconic or as refreshing as the margarita. With its crisp blend of tequila, lime juice, and orange liqueur, it's become a go-to drink in bars and backyards across America. What many people don't realize is that this globally loved cocktail was born right here in Texas. The origin story points to the 1940s in Galveston, where a bartender created a custom drink for a customer looking for something light and citrusy. Other versions claim it started in Dallas or El Paso. No matter which version you believe, one thing's clear: the margarita is pure Texas in flavor and personality. By the 1950s, it had already spread beyond Texas, and in 1971, a Dallas restaurateur invented the frozen margarita machine using a modified soft-serve ice cream maker. That moment turned the drink from popular to legendary, launching a wave of Tex-Mex restaurant culture across the country. Today, margaritas are served just about everywhere. You can find them on the rocks, frozen, spicy, or sweet, flavored with mango, strawberry, jalapeno, and even prickly pear. But no matter how it's mixed, the margarita remains a symbol of celebration, warmth, and Texan charm. The drink has also cemented its place in pop culture. In the hit TV show Friends, there's a memorable episode where Ross accidentally drinks too many margaritas and becomes unusually relaxed, giving audiences one of the show's most quoted scenes. It's a fun reminder of how deeply this cocktail is tied to the idea of letting loose and having a good time. Texans take great pride in perfecting the margarita. Across the state, bartenders continue to experiment with regional twists, premium tequilas, and fresh ingredients. Margarita festivals are now held in Austin, San Antonio, and Houston, drawing thousands of fans who come to taste, cheer, and celebrate this Texas-born favorite. More than just a drink, the margarita has become part of the Tex-Mex identity. It represents friendship, flavor, and freedom. Whether you're toasting at a backyard barbecue or relaxing by the beach, it's always the right time for a margarita. So next time you raise your glass, remember, you're sipping on a true Texas original. A cocktail crafted with bold flavor, a little creativity, and a lot of heart. How do you prefer your margarita, frozen or on the rocks? Thank you for exploring the hidden corners of Texas with us. Click on the video you see on the screen to check out other hidden discoveries on our channel.